Welcome everyone to Fantasy HQ. This is Red, this is Mitch, I am Alex, and we are the NRL Fantasy Gurus. That's right everyone, dance if you got 1,000 points or over this week. Yes, we all did for the first time this year, so we are feeling good. I know Mitch is feeling good, he hasn't stopped dancing. And we'll jump right into today's episode with just some talking points. Because, well, let's start off with the main talking point.
Is this your way of telling everybody you didn't prepare anything for the show?
Absolutely. I have notes. There's stuff written. But the important thing is...
milk, butter.
I didn't say they were fantasy relevant. But we'll start off by saying, you know, this looks like a lot of people scored well this week. So, trade...
Gaffarino got the 100.
Yep, we'll call him out as the player of the week. Very impressive game. Kicking goals, doing it very well for Parramatta Eels, who are top of the ladder.
Did I hit to say?
It's
Mostly because I don't think it's been said in 30 years.
Not at this point in the season. We've been up there after the first round once, or, you know, but we're there.
But yes, to trade or not to trade, fellas. Now, is everyone's team in a good enough position where you sort of feel like you need to start saving those trades with 11 weeks to go now?
I think at this stage, any time you can save trades, you save them. We've seen the horrific injury toll so far this season. And if you can go a rare week where you don't have 4 players drop down, you know, need to be moved around, or you're trying to juggle with your DPPs and people you don't want to play, you know, save those trades.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot of injuries last week compared to other weeks, and we had the 4 trades, we had the 2 free ones come in, so...
Thanks, Harvey Norman.
It probably would have, you know, helped you set your team to a pretty decent standard by now. Red, thoughts, trades?
Well, I've been saving throughout the year, so I have 3 extra on you.
What's that like?
It's nice because all these injuries, as much as I've had to suffer through them, I know that
You can see the shining light.
surely you are going to suffer the same fate. Although I don't think anybody has ever shit more luck than this guy.
Hey, I'm not having the greatest of years, but I am climbing the ladder quite nicely. Now,
Self-plug!
Now we'll get to some players that, let's say, point of interest. Who do we want to start with? Does anyone want to...
Can we call these the quibblers?
We got the list, you know, amongst the milk and the bread and the butter. I got some players written down here, but does anyone want to start with anyone in particular?
Well, okay, one I found interesting this week was Ben Hunt. Obviously, with Cameron McInnes being shifted to the starting lock position, Ben Hunt starting at number 9. Now, he's at 637,000 with a break-even of 49 this week. But it's a bit of a, like... He could be an absolute revelation there if you get him as a DPP and you can have a starting hooker playing your halves. But obviously we don't know his role, we don't know his minutes.
We do have a few, you know, examples to go off. Kim coming off the bench and only playing a hooker. But, yeah, we don't know how they'll play out, if we'll be over 80 minutes or not. The bench certainly suggests that it could be an 80-minute role.
I don't think so. I think he will probably take 20 to 30 minutes off at the back end of the first half and at the start of the second half, where McInnes will go back to his original role.
So you're still thinking about 60 minutes?
I still think you'll get about that 60 minutes. Does that say value in the halves? I don't know. It depends on who you got already. If you got the DCE Nathan Clearys of the world, don't waste your time.
Yeah. Definitely wait a week and see, especially with the high break even. You can afford to wait. You got Luai making money. 2 break even was an absolute barnstormer last week. Didn't play him last week. You know, for the people lucky enough to have terrible halves, well
the people
done.
who have so many injuries, congratulations.
So he's definitely not a sell yet, and you got Fogarty still making money too, so another decent enough mid option. But yeah, definitely wait a week on Hunt.
As well as that, we're still waiting to hear back about Jack DeBellin. So imagine if Jack DeBellin gets cleared.
We've been talking about this.
We have been, but he was the starting New South Wales lock 2 years ago. So you got to imagine he's going to find his way back in that team somehow. And I imagine
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Another one of interest. Why don't we go with? Well, talking about Lockie McInnes, we got Luke Thompson for the Bulldogs, slotting pretty much into Adam Elliott's position after he got injured. Do we see this being a big minute role long term?
To be honest, I do quite like him, especially if he does become a DPP. Obviously, that would be a few weeks, so he's enlisted as a front rower at the moment. It's unclear, obviously. He's only been with the club technically maybe just over a week now. And the NRL, and especially how the game's picked up, the tempo now and the speed, will be a bit of an adjustment, so not quite sure on his minutes at the moment. But I mean, it's an interesting one.
So we've got another wait a week and see potentially on Thompson.
I'll probably roll the dice and bring him in.
I think he's a wait a week. A break even of 40, even if he gets 60 points, he only gains 20k. So he goes from 550 to 570. Not really wasting that much for waiting and seeing. And the DPP, I think they readjust again on the 5th of August, somewhere around that particular date. And if he keeps playing a lot, he'll be there. So if you wait the week, he plays big minutes, you can't assume that he'll either go down or only go up. If he plays really well this week, bring him in, but I would definitely wait. Just to see how he adjusts. Sam Tompkins could not do it.
Definitely a good point too that for Talamarina, we'll hold that 80-minute roll now that Elliott's injured too. So we're worried about Thompson might take his spot, but the people who brought him in and making huge money on him, well done. He will keep that 80-minute roll, it seems. How about JTB? Tanoa Brown from the Warriors. Gone from my team this week. Upgrading him, he's peaked.
Yeah, he's gone from mine too, to be honest. His minutes haven't been that great. And now Jazz Tavanga's back, who's an absolute fantasy must last year.
On the bench.
He's off the bench, so he might take a week or two to get back in that starting side just to get his match fitness back, but he will cause a reshuffle, and I imagine an Adam Blair or someone like that will move up to that front row.
I agree. Tanoa Brown, 33, 34, 29 the last 3 weeks. That's upsetting.
I saw him starting. I thought it might help him last week. I held him for one more week, and he really screwed me.
Well, he's on a downward trajectory, and again, Jazz Tavanga coming back. Get him the hell out of your team.
He's peaked.
Piss him off.
And saying that though, unless Jazz Tavanga starts, you can probably afford to wait a week or two on him, let his break even and his price come down a bit.
Get rid of him.
Get rid of it.
Unless
you want to save trades like we talked about.
No, I'm talking about Jazz Tavanga if you want to bring him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you want that bad boy.
Yeah.
And he's going to drop some price. You wait a week, he's going to drop.
Very
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
Mitch, anyone you like to... Oh, actually, I'll ask you. Red.
You haven't asked me?
I'll ask you.
Ooh, go me. Let's talk about someone. Bradman Best. Now, I've never had Bradman Best, to
It was
my
nice.
dismay.
We had a good run.
Yeah, that was nice.
We had some good times.
Has the man peaked? How much money can centers make? And if Kalen Ponga's not playing well, is he even on the park? I don't know.
Well, a point of interest is he's still the best averaging centre in 2020. But if you go by the last 2 weeks that he's played, not so much. I think he's peaked. You know, you never really see centres hit over 650 anyway in price value. And honestly, he looked like a passenger out there last week. So, and he should have been fresh. He had a week off. He should have been raring to go, and he just didn't seem very interested.
I think he's one of those players. He looks good with early ball. If you just get him early ball and let him do a bit of work, he's quite good. Otherwise, yeah, like Kalen Ponga, when he was scoring really well, probably because he was getting like 8, well, not 8 try assists, but 2 try assists a week to Bradman Best, so...
And Ponga getting 14 last week certainly didn't help.
17, man.
17. Ooh, he got a boost.
Hey, you have an actual tackle bust. Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll go on to a cash cow here. How about the most brought-in player already in these early round of trades, Firma for the Titans. Well, so he got 56
and you can
points.
Quote that.
He's a second row forward, but he's not DPP, even though he's starting at centres this week. He got 2 line breaks, 130 metres last week, which isn't a lot of metres considering he had 2 line breaks. Makes you think what he would have got without those.
My only thing with him is, at this stage, like, he will make some money. But they've said Kevin Proctor's only out for 2 weeks, so he's already missed one. He'll be back next week to take his second row spot. And there's no guarantee that, what's his name, Thuma, holds his centre spot. Like, I don't know.
Call him a nobody.
When trades are at such a premium and players are dropping like flies at the moment, do you really waste a trade on a guy like that?
Well, you look at the cash cow options at the moment, and they're very slim. So I can see the appeal of bringing him in. 56 points. He's forced him to have a low break even. You know, he might make you a bit of money. If you got plenty of trade spare, I'd probably, you know, maybe take a risk, take a few price hikes with him, because they've moved Tyrone Peachy to the bench. They obviously want to start him in centres. Maybe a bit longer term than expected.
I don't know, but then what happens with Tyrone Roberts? He, for some reason, got the fullback role over Corey Thompson.
Not anymore.
Dumb. Yeah, but he's on the extended bench again. So what happens there? Does the same thing happen where he come in and take that spot and poor old Corey Thompson has to go to the wing again? What does that mean for the centres? Firmer to the bench, Firmer out of the squad.
They got 2 secondary forwards starting.
Yeah, like Cardi Party and Firmer. Like, I don't know. I think
it's a mess of a team.
It's an absolute schmozzle. No.
Well, how about
Scotty don't.
We'll go with we'll talk about Isaiah Yo. Now, people might be thinking no longer a keeper, no longer a gun, with 2 average scores of 52 and 46. What are we thinking about Yo?
Sorry, I had to read my notes. Look, for the most part of the season, he has been quite consistent. The only thing that worries me a bit last week was he did come off. You know, he played just over 60 minutes.
It's pretty unpredictable in whether he'll play 80 or not.
But I'm prepared to give him probably another week or two and see what he does, because he, you know, for the most part this season he has been scoring quite well. He's got 52, 46 has been his last 2 games. No, 52 is not terrible.
No.
Considering a lot of people probably brought him in as well when he was a lot cheaper. So if you brought someone in at 800,000 to scoring 52, you're going to be quite annoyed. But a lot of people
like Madison.
You'd be super pissed.
Thanks, Matto. Yeah, so if a lot of people like us brought him in when he was, you know, not bottom dollar, but, you know, a lot cheaper, you know, you can kind of cop a 52. But if you're bringing him in at 800,000, it's probably not acceptable.
Especially when players like Tohu Harris just consistently delivering. You know, if you have the trades, maybe time for a upgrade to a JT, a Tohu Harris, someone like that. But I still think he's up there with those names. A Crichton.
Well,
Hang on a minute. If Tedesco's playing, Angus Crichton's your captain, right? He's just... Oh my god. It's like the postman. He's the postman. He just delivers that shit on time. It's crazy. I love it.
Crichton's playing
same day delivery.
Mate, he's courier mail. He's there. Like, I don't know what's going on. I actually don't think Yo's in the same echelon as those. I think there is an elite tier of second row, and I think they're 3. Madison, Crichton, and Tohu Harris. And I don't think...
Tamalolo?
Yeah, everyone's got him.
Yeah, look, for me, he's a hold another week or two and see what happens with his minutes, see what happens with his scores. And they do continue on that downward trajectory, it's probably time to trade up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, let's go with a mid-range second row option. You could, if you wanted to sell him, maybe get someone who will make some money. How about Sutton from the Raiders? It's an interesting prospect.
How do you not get the start?
Well, this is the thing. Do you bring in a guy that's coming off interchange but will likely still play 60 minutes a game?
Look, I had Sutton last year, and I think he's a potential trap.
Ooh. That's a trap.
Look at that score last week. How can you call that a trap? 46 tackles, 140 metres.
It is.
The man was a base stat freak.
But look at it this way.
Juice.
Soliola and Gula, whatever his name is, they both went down mid-game.
Yeah, but
so his minutes
face crushed
were inflated. So, for me, if he was starting, definitely someone I was looking at. Coming off the bench, we're not sure of the minutes, how he's going to be used. For me, he's a wait and see. I'm not rushing out to get him.
Well, the thing is, you know, he could be making a lot of money very soon. So, it's this week or next week to pull the trigger on someone like that. You got long-term injuries at the Raiders. You know, Hudson Young, you know, scored okay last week. And we looked at him and were like, well, maybe we should have brought in Sutton instead after seeing last week's score. But
how could you know someone, 2 of their starting front row was going to get hurt?
That's very true. So it could go either way there. You know, it could be a good wait and see, but it could be you pull the trigger now, you could be in an absolute steal.
If we had a fence, we'd be sitting on it with a lot of these.
Absolutely.
Alright, well, I'm saying no.
Oh, love it. I'm saying no as well. Nah. Nat.
450k.
Bring him in.
Go on, do it.
can't
You should make
afford
him
it.
your captain.
That'll be McInnes, I think, at lock. But
The hell is that sound?
I don't know. It's me fence sitting and having a slushy.
What are you doing on the
apparently.
fence?
Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. And
Is that how we're ending it? Since when do you get to end it?
Yeah, when do you get to end it?
Well,
A bit fucking
They're not the
rude.
missos, you can't just end it when you want.
Red, what can they do? He doesn't know what he's doing.
Like, subscribe, comment, keep the feedback coming, guys. We love it.
Oh, it's not bad.
Hey!
You lost your job in the future. Thanks for watching, guys.
subscribe.
So good.
Good mate.
So good.
Subscribe.